Greetings, community.
We are
1, 2,
Comic Talk.
and we're all here. Look at what we got. We got slurppies. So we're just kind of kicking back with the family.
And we want you to hang out with us. So I did not put up the banners. I wonder if you can put them up after the fact.
Yeah, you can. In fact, go throw one up right now.
Right there.
Boom.
Well, that was easy.
There you go.
Let's get back to the...
He's learning, everybody.
Well, yeah, it's a slow learning curve, I have to admit. Well, I hope everyone out there is doing well on this fine Friday night. We had an interview of late with Khalees. You were with us on that sweetheart interview with Dylan Gilbertson.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I'm also looking forward, not to like skip too far ahead, but we have a interview tomorrow and an interview Tuesday, which that interview Tuesday is really all about me. I'm not we'll talk about that in a little bit, but then
You're jumping on the bit.
But Saturday I think Saturday you'll dig the interview. Hopefully you'll be hanging out with me. It's a story called Ink Blot. The guest will be Emma Kubert. Reason why that one's a big deal is
She's a third generation of
writer
artist mix. She's a combo.
Right. So that's that one.
It's crazy.
It is.
It's a big
It's a big event. It's gonna be cool. You know what I mean?
not an accomplishment. I think it's a privilege that
too.
that we get to do it with her.
Well, that too.
But for her, it's an accomplishment.
The fact that she decided that she wanted to go do kind of a family tradition at this point, because third generation, and they have their own school. So she was a graduate of the school of Kubert. Her email even address was still routed over to that school. So that was interesting. Now, Khalees, you got to go to an opening. So you and I got to go to an opening in the beginning of the year of a shop, and then you weren't with us, but you got to go with us later on to the shop. But now you got to go to a grand opening of a shop. What was that? Monday, yeah?
Yeah. We were
Superior.
Hey, Superior Hero Reviews.
Jeffrey
Comics. Now that's the third time they moved. So that was kind of cool to go there, huh?
Yeah.
I remember Jeffrey's from being a kid too. You would take me there, and I got a Christmas present from there one time. It was a sonic screwdriver. I think that's what it's called. It's the Doctor Who pen.
Do you remember what you got before that though? If I remind you, I bet you.
I got a My Little Pony comic.
Well, not only that, but it's the same. I think it was in the same week.
The one comic I got. It
Where
was
did that
good,
book
to be
go?
honest. Huh?
Where did that book go?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It could have gone into the trash. It could have been. It could, but then again, it could have been sent to Narnia or something. We don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I think about. No, what I'm also remembering is that you end up receiving.
And then we find out it's a key.
You know what? They don't do that anymore. They don't sell the mugs and stuff. Remember, they had you bought a glass there. I think it was.
I didn't buy it there though. I bought it at Peggy's when I was going to Las Vegas, the mid stop to Las Vegas.
No. You bought a glass
of Rainbow Dash, right? That's what you're thinking about?
Maybe. Okay, I could be completely wrong. My memory could be out there. Hey, confabulation is real. Hey, Superior, I hope you're doing well on this evening. I hope you're having a fine Friday. Hope your week went well. We're just hanging out. Khalees, you actually get to read a couple books this week, right? No, you read.
Sweetheart.
You did Sweetheart, and you finished out another volume. I Hate Fairyland. Didn't you go through two?
I didn't.
You didn't? Jerry.
I finished one. He finished.
Oh.
You've been hearing about Redbubble, right? Oh, sorry.
Redbubble.
Yeah. Have you heard about Redbubble?
Oh,
so basically it's I'm surprised. It's just a place where you can it's one of those sites where you can upload an image and then you can slap it to mugs and everything. like shirts and stuff.
I think I have heard. I think I've seen
And
an
like you
advertisement.
can get stickers and stuff of like the pictures.
I think I've seen an advertisement on that. You know what? I think it was JB that even talked about it. 'Cause I think he said
Hey,
that someone
Comic Crazy.
did a red bubble and he put it on his mug. Hey, how you doing? Daughter, son, you've met him. I'm sure Khalees has been hanging out with us on a few.
We've been introducing her more often.
And now that her and her boyfriend have been reading so many books of late,
We have a point to keep them here.
why they've like filled up nearly, I would say about 3/4 of a box now of books
Wow.
in like a month.
That's kind of
I
scary.
only buy trays, so.
Well, I mean, I think you're trying to keep on par, or not even try. I should say, let me start over. I think you're only keeping on par of what the consumption in this household has been as far as stories and the amount of books that we've been purchasing. I mean, between the last box that we got and the 2 months that we're going to be receiving, I mean, we all have this voracious, I guess, appetite of
For books. We've just been, give me that book. Give me that book. Is the whole family drinking tonight?
Slurppies.
He wishes.
Slurppies. John, you're more than welcome to
Slurpee.
come and jump on. A matter of fact, I'll end up throwing a link out there to you. Yeah, we're just hanging out. We haven't got to do this, and yes, being that we've been doing so much more reading and reflecting on the stories that we've been doing as a family. I guess you know what?
I read a lot actually since we went on live last time. Right?
I want to give a lot of credit to John because I would have to say now that after a solid year, all we're doing now is essentially just almost following the model that you had set a precedent as. You know what I mean, John? I mean, you and your children have been doing this for so long that
I remember when we were starting, we kind of looked up to John, seeing him with his little Lego animations. It was cool.
still do. I mean,
Still do, yeah.
But it hasn't really hit me until right now again that all we're doing is essentially what John's been doing for a while. John and I just threw one out there into your text. So yeah, it is a family fair, and it's, as I can't tell you, it's fun. It's cool, especially the fact that her tastes and his tastes differ than mine, and because of which we are not only. Which again, John, I'm sure you encounter the same thing. It's broadening our reading horizons, I guess, and the fact that where you go is not where I normally go. I've only got reintroduced to horror and gore because of you and some of the suspense, and then because of the wacky, I like the ludicrous stuff, and that I Hate Fairyland definitely kind of delves off in its own place like that. That has gotten my interest into those things where I was not looking at that stuff in the past. So it just means I'm just spending 3 times as much more.
You're kind of just have to account for 3 people.
Well, it's worth it. I mean, if this
It is worth it. It is fun. I'd say it's all kind of just crazy and fun to just get these comics and read them, tell them to the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Opening up the boxes, doing the interviews, hanging out with you guys, and
We just get to do these random
Read the
shows
stories.
too, where we can just cocktails and comics, sit down, talk.
exactly.
It's cool.
I'm still waiting on an email for my verification to go back to work. Yeah, any moment. I'm just waiting for that.
You keep getting those things shoved up your nose. You're scaring me. Mom's threatening to shove them up mine.
Well,
Yeah.
you want to go out there and play?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Hey, tell us out there what you guys are reading. As far as we have a long list and a half. Now, as far as Khalees, just this week, what have you been looking at other than I Hate Fairyland?
I read Paper Girls since the last time we talked.
And see, that's another thing. I haven't got into that.
Yeah. What was the other? Oh, and I finished out Snot Girl. I don't know if I think I did finish last time I was talking.
When you thinking of that O'Malley story.
Yeah, it was really good. But I like Image in general. Like their
Talking about-
colors and stuff are kind of like similar. Like Paper Girls and like Snot Girl and like there's a bunch of other ones I saw that look pretty. Yeah. but I like it, so whatever.
Did you notice a trend that as far as the books that you purchased?
Yeah.
Who's the publisher?
You know, I read Brian. If you're out there, I read all of that comic before she did in Las Vegas. I went through every trade before she was able to, and it was a great read. That was fun in Palm Springs.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I mean, and that's the thing is that we've been touching on some of these things, but we never jumped into the level that we are now. Yeah, hey, John, Flash, Comic Crazy, Superior. I appreciate all you guys hanging out. And yeah, it's we've been all doing some reading, and we haven't. This is like one of the first times we got together and we get to discuss the stuff that we've been reading. You've been doing school. You've been doing school. You've been doing gaming. You've been doing school and taking care of some of the things in the house. Me, I just been going nuts. So I mean, between all that, we've been kind of busy and haven't been able to get together and talk about some of the things that we've been reading. Which I mean, I've been finally going through that mad stack of stuff up there, and
he said he's been reading a few
Scout comic books. There you go, John.
Cool. Anything in particular from Scout that you've been reading? We met. Were you there? I don't think. I can't remember. No, you weren't. When I met Charlie Stickney.
I was there.
You were. You were in the other room, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I hung around a little bit, but yeah, I was like I was talking about drawing with Paula. Shout out to the Sketchy Bugs.
Hey, Sketchy Bugs.
Was chilling over at the Sketchy Bugs, drawing and stuff.
So we I'm definitely heavily reading White Ash, and I recommend White Ash. These days we're trying to few number ones. Cool. Yeah, there's a to me.
Hey, Captain Comics.
There's a few Scout books that hit me deep that I just once I start I go. And right now, because of the extent of the amount of, I mean, I don't need to tell these guys. They see what our purchases are now. That I have to actually put blinders on at times, and it's that way with especially it's that way with Source Point. I don't know if you noticed it. A lot of times, definitely me, I put the hashtag Source Point family because of how many Source Point books I've been buying, and I'm noticing
we like to consider ourselves that, yes.
Well, and I'm also noticing that
Source
now
Point family.
Between the letters, Justin, if you're out there, I've been buying a lot of books that have your letters in it.
Wait a minute.
Writers, artists, I'm buying some of the same circles of people. Sometimes they're an artist in one book, and now they're the writers of another, and so forth. So I'm enjoying that.
Really bad question because my brain's offline. Yeah, I already forgot. My brain's just that offline.
Well,
I can't even make my question.
Matter of fact, the stuff that we do with Franklin and Ghost.
Now I remember. Does Source Point own Scout?
No, the separate publishing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
But Charlie, since we last saw him when he was just writing,
let's go.
We start over, not just writing, but as he was a writer, and that was his title at the time. His title's changed within Scout, and he's elevated his status as far as what his title is. So he's now writer, consultant. He's doing a few. His official title I can't remember right now, but he officially got elevated into a higher level of status, into where now he is dealing with a lot of the actual what I think decisions on what does and doesn't get published now. I think he's having some of the controlling aspect of that.
That's really huge. Cool.
Yeah.
Shout out Charlie Stickney.
Yeah. Hey, Cap, how you doing?
Shut up.
Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Khalees is keeping us honest. I'm not.
Khalees is on the chat.
Now, we don't normally.
She's on the chat side.
That doesn't
anyway.
mean that we don't end up purchasing some of the DC and Marvel stuff. Now, I end up reading finally, even though I'm a week and a half behind. 3 Jokers. Now, even though I'm a week and a half behind in the reading, I had read and checked out the solicitations of this 5 or 6 months ago, and I already knew about this. So we're already pre-purchased on this whole story.
Right.
Both A and B covers all the way through, and from what I was reading, wow, this is exactly not only
what I was hoping the story to be, but what everyone else was saying it is.
The Three
Yeah.
Jokers.
Yeah, you have yet to grab that book from me, right? You haven't got that one from me, right?
Should I
still
break
haven't
into
gotten
it?
into anything.
I really
like this.
haven't broken into anything lately. Just at all.
I understand from your point of view because it's hard to figure out where to jump in. That's why with you, I did introduce you to indie stuff, predominantly speaking, because it's easier to jump in and out of certain stories and arcs, but when it comes to the big two, it's hard to figure out where to jump in sometimes, and I get that. That's why when he went to Black Label, that was easy because they were essentially just starting and they were coming up with all these stories, and there were all these little mini arcs. So that was easy for us to get in.
But I still haven't because it's a lot.
I have yet to figure out what would be good for you. Right now, I think where your interests lie and what you've been picking is perfect for you.
Yeah.
That, and you've been actually introducing me to stuff that I haven't considered, or if I have considered it, I've not actually read it. Now that you've already have it, it's easy for me to just grab it. But once I get to that mad stack of books, I'll make that consideration.
The store folios up there?
Yeah, I mean, I still have.
I'm looking at them.
Well, I've still the bottom one is Die Die Die. John. I've still yet to finish all the way through that, and then the other two, there's like 2 books in one, and then the other one's packed with 10 more books.
What's in the 10 book?
Oh, there's so much in there. I can't even recall right now, but it's a lot of the stuff that people aren't talking about. Meaning, the Usagi Yojimbo number 12. Ghost Spider 10. I think I have Star 4 in there.
You're just the funny thing is now that you're halfway through these and I don't know, people are more used to seeing number ones, and now it's just we're in the middle.
Well, as far as Ghost Spider is concerned, I think they stopped at 10.
Yeah, that's right.
As far as Black Cat, which I was reading all the way through, I was really hoping Black Cat would make it to 13 because Unlucky Lucky 13 was going to be the covers. I don't know how many people knew about it, but I'd already pre-purchased the Unlucky Lucky covers. Cover A, I was all, well, it looks like they're discontinuing Black Cat, bringing it back as a number 1, which I was hoping they wouldn't do. However, it's going to tie into Noel somehow in this whole King of Black event.
Oh.
So how that works out, I'm not certain.
We'll see if it's worth it or not, I guess.
I am definitely, because I like the female-led Marvel books.
If she plays a cool role
Captain
in
Marvel, I've been buying all this stuff I've been buying. I don't want it to go away, but I don't want to keep buying the reboots and new story. I mean, I don't want to do that. I would rather them stop, for like 2 years and then bring it back out.
Right.
But
we take what we can get.
Alice and me, I hope you're doing well. I apologize if you've been on this channel before, but I don't have recollection. Welcome. I hope you're doing well on this Friday evening. So, being that you've now gone to an opening event, you got to pick up some new books. You've been reading now for a solid month, about, right? So
way more than that now.
Has it been more now?
Definitely.
Wow.
It's been since
on a regular basis. That's killer. And I'm getting old. So now looking back and reflecting on it, I mean, one, did you ever see yourself collecting comics?
That's funny.
No.
And then 2, you're actually talking to people about it, right? You've been posting things.
Mm-hmm.
You ever thought you'd be posting things about comics?
No.
Your attitude towards people that collected comics and your view of them in the past and how you view people that do, how has it changed?
I mean, I still think they're nerds, but like in a cool way because
you kind of understand it now.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is kind of a nerd in a way. Like, if you want to be, so why not like be nerdy? But it's like not that long of a book, so it's not gonna like take you that long to be intelligent, I guess, you know, because some stories are kind of confusing, like I talked about in my video, but I mean, it's not that much to get through, but then it'll last with you for, you know, so that was cool.
Like parallels.
Exactly.
Parallel was
mostly images, but
Parallel was all black and white, and I thought that aspect of
no.
No.
Did you read it? No.
Bad
Remember?
memory. Bad memory then.
You didn't read it.
I don't know.
I did read it.
Yeah, but I mean, it
was pretty dark.
I think it, as you made mention, leaves an individual impression. So for him, maybe he was just thinking of the images as being black and white because of how it laid its imagery on you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because what I do remember is aspects
now I just
of it
feel
that stuck
stupid.
with me.
No.
That it's hard for me to remember other aspects. And what I mean by that is I remember the panels of when he was reflecting on his life and he was redundantly going through things, and you would see that at first he had all his guitars and then only a guitar and an amp, and you can kind of see this progress of a lessened state of who he used to be and who he is, how should I say, compromising himself to be. And you can see that was one of the images that it's hard for me to get out of my head and remember a lot of the other images of the book. That and him being pushed in the fucking book. That's kind of a hard one to get out of the head too. So you know, I'm the only one that's actually really carrying a real cocktail. Slurppies.
All sugar.
Slurppies. Which is really not that good
I was gonna say.
for the type 1. So if you're out there watching Dylan, she's sorry.
Shout out to
I'm
the
sorry.
last show we did.
Now me, I've been bouncing back and forth between not only reading the image, Source Point, Scout, and Marvel, DC, and everything in between. I've not only been bouncing back and forth, but I've been purposely not reading things in any linear fashion as far as a publisher. Meaning, I'm not reading Marvel and then everything that I've been getting that week, A through Z, you know what I mean, and then moving on to like another publisher. I've been purposely mixing things up in a way, I guess, to like cleanse the mental palate. So I can go into other stuff kind of unbiased, or at least try to change up the mind a little bit. Right.
I like that.
And it's been allowing me to, unfortunately, not polish off all the books, but as you know, we do these interviews and stuff, it's been allowing me to do research on some of these people that we're doing interviews on, and then, you know, pass on the information. So like the other day, you know, when we were doing the interview with Dylan, I was able to not only give you the books and you go back over everything and me go back over everything, but kind of discuss point of views and things that we were going to, you know, discuss. So which definitely helps me, one, bouncing around and reading different things, and then two, bouncing around from figuring out how to do an interview and then reading something that I want to read and then jumping back into doing more research. If I just did any one thing, I'd probably burn out, I guess is what I'm getting at.
No, I can understand that. Like, I read, you say you know me for the horror and gore stuff, but trust me when I say I love the indie white ash, ink blot. I love all that stuff.
Well, you're the one that...
Ludicrous.
Right. You're the one that hammered me hard on the... Dude, you got to check this out. And you're right.
It was crazy. It was a trip.
That and
you had to see it.
Did an arc finish of that book? Yeah. No. Right?
The miniseries ends at 5, and I want to say it will release at the beginning of next month. It will be the final issue. Only because I don't know what's happening with work. I've actually been talking to the artist of that book, and he's already made mention that he has a desire to come on the show, and we want, you know, obviously we want to talk about the story with him and
obviously
and how he came about one, speaking to Gillen about the story, but two, how he was able to, you know,
I think it'd be cool to make an artist show, like a drawing thing.
with him. Oh, absolutely, it'd be freaking killer. I want to do an interview with him because I kind of want to pick his brain and figure out how he was able to even come to the idea of how to depict all what's that he drew.
Yeah,
because
that's kind of crazy.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts. There's a lot of people out there in the community right now are having difficulty reading it, or even having after issue 1. Most people had no desire to buy issue 2 that I know of.
Yeah.
Me, after talking to Kai, knew that it was way more than what we were just getting after the first couple issues.
Mhm.
Which by the time you get to issue 3,
Oh yeah, it takes a tonal shift.
yeah, you start getting a lot more depth. So I am looking forward to this last issue to drop, and yeah, depending on how work goes and we figure out the calendar, I'd love to be able to get him on the show. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
That, and it would actually, I'd like to blow a couple of people's minds out there to have an interview on a story in which that most people really aren't reading but are familiar with. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Mhm.
No, I mean, I think it is.
I think it's really cool, actually. So
You know, it's also to be able to talk about a book. You know, Kieran Gillen is known for writing and doing stories that have such gravity, such depth, such, you know, they're just hard hitting stories.
Mm-hmm. That is switched
So that
around.
well, yeah, and when he does Ludicrous, people are like, "What the fuck?"
Bro, like,
Which is, you know, kind of cool
not
because,
what we're used to.
well, exactly, it shows, I guess, the dynamics of what Kieran does. It's nice to be
It
able-
helps exercise his brain
Writing.
a little too. Yeah, he's doing something that he you said you are going for a bunch of different comics to spread out your palette. Well,
Mhm.
he's spreading out his palette in a way too
You know, I can't agree more.
by doing these kind of crazy comics. He's kind of branching out.
And I can
doing
also
stuff he's never
get
done.
how people can get pent up. You know, you can't express yourself a certain way, and you want to, you know, even if it's not this story, he might want to do something totally wacky. He might have had ideas of other stuff. This is the one that he was able to probably pitch, and they're like, "Oh, we'll take this one."
Yeah.
And probably
That's
until they
funny.
got about issue 3 into it, they think, "Okay, one, we were hoping for probably more sales, but 2, they were probably by the time they got to issue 3." Or, you know, I'm sure the publisher were going, "This is not at all what we thought.
Yeah.
This is, we were hoping you would take it a little bit upswing." And
A little bit less in your own direction, but I think it's really cool that he took it in his own direction. I think that's what makes it the coolest.
I agree. Well, again,
He's having fun.
There's a reason why we're buying it and we're reading it now that
If the artist is having fun, then of course we're gonna have fun.
I couldn't even imagine being the letter for it because as wacky as everything is, it would be difficult to figure out, okay, where am I going to put the bubbles? And then
Mhm.
how am I going to make this wording? You know, these people are wacky.
And then the artist just tell you, figure it out,
Hmm.
because
Well, and the
that's all
writer.
done after, right?
Well, they coordinate with the writer. And more times than not, the writer's the creator of everything.
Oh,
They have the envisionment of how everything is supposed to be done. Normally, that's not always the case. Sometimes, depending on who is working with whom, they are allowed certain leisures. And what I mean by that is, if I know that I can give you an idea and you and I can bounce ideas back and forth, that allows the creation to be dual.
right.
Kanto's a great example. From my understanding, David Boer and Drew Zucker worked together on that as far as creating the story. And
I think out of any story, I think they worked very together on that one.
Well, now as I read, starting on issue 3 and into issue 4 on the second series, they've hired a person to come in and assist on the coloring. What that'll allow to do is, you know, it allows less task of one single person to do everything
Right.
and start delegating a little bit more work out, which, you can start building a bigger project when you have more people delegating and have others being able to assist with the project.
I mean,
you can keep growing.
it's
And I don't think Kanto is going to get any smaller.
I think Kanto really is just going to get exponentially bigger,
I agree.
especially with its popularity. And I hope it does.
I hope so too. I don't see it getting any smaller. If anything, I actually see it turning into a movie or a TV show or something.
Big old franchise.
Something
that I can hopefully grow up with. That would be that's what would be killer. Is I'd say growing up with a comic that I started reading become like a franchise. That would be the dream.
Well, hopefully, another one I'd like to see that happen to would be Pretty Violent. That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
You know what?
As like an animated.
Have you been reading Undone by Blood?
I have not.
Okay.
I've been looking at it every cover.
The new information that just came out. For those that
it's a
may
dual
not
story,
know,
right?
Yes, and you know who Retus is? The guy in The Walking Dead that rides a motorcycle. Anyways, he's been looking at that storyline, and he has the desire to basically have it produced in some way. He's been talking about this. So the book went from relatively nothing in the sense of, and I mean only nothing in the sense of a monetary amount, which people that were either buying and or selling it for, to now it going for anywhere as much as $40 to $50 raw, and then people CGC and this stuff. And this only happened.
I'm hoping for it
in the past a couple days. This only happened past. So what I'm getting at is
this is recent.
Some of these stories that it's aftershock. Some of these stories that I had no idea that they're going to blow up as much as they do, and we've been, I've been reading it. Is now getting, like you said, exponentially bigger, and possibly, who knows, turning into a franchise. It is amazing that yes, in your time that you've been reading, and now in your short time you've been, some of these things are.
I'm watching them grow.
Right. Which is a trip
from their foundation, and that is a trip.
Well, you were there with me when we were buying all this Tynion stuff for the Wind, Batman, all that, and we did all these submissions. Same thing with Strange Academy when we were talking to Scotty Young about his development of Strange Academy, and how many? Well, they're not even issue 3 is released yet, and we own what, around 20 books. 25 books of Strange Academy alone. There's what, 11 books that are supposed to 14 books? I think 14
Look
books.
Look how crazy we are, community. We buy way too many books.
That are supposed to come back from grading.
I can't wait.
From just Strange Academy, and then like another 14 more from the Tynion Synod. So yeah, in your time, you've been able to see things that may grow into big franchises. Who knows? Wind could do it. I could see that. These new characters, Punchline, all that. Grifter that's supposed to be coming in Batman 101. That used to be in the Wildcats. I could see all this happening. Wow,
there's a lot. Yeah, there is a lot.
So it will be interesting to see what happens.
You're hearing it here first, community.
Well, I remember when I was a kid. Well, I was your age when Usagi Yojimbo came out.
Wow.
And that's when I started buying all that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask, is what kind of stuff did you grow up with, and what kind of stuff was already in production at the time?
Well, again, when I was collecting all this stuff, that was, Usagi, all these things that are now big.
Were already in motion?
Deadpool made his first appearance. What's big also, Punchlines now, but back in the day it was Harley Quinn. She made her appearances in the Batman Adventures, and then what is it, in 2001 or around there is when she, maybe it was 99, is when she made her appearance in canon into the regular storyline of the Batman stuff. Before it was all just animation and Batman Adventures and all that stuff. But that was back in what, 92, 91? So again, I was just a little older than you. So for me, I had, in my time when I started, that was what? Right before. So we were into Hulk 176. So the famous Hulk 180, 181, 182 happened in that 77 time period in which that's where Wolverine came from, And so, yeah, in my life, I came across a lot of modern day franchises of today.
The Ninja Genko.
Hey, how you doing? Zen Intergalactic Ninja. God, why have I heard that?
Apex?
No, Zen Intergalactic Ninja. I know that. I don't know why I know that, but I know that. But again, let's stay even into almost the indie realms. Well, definitely indie realms. One of the people that came back that I've been buying was Dave Sim stuff. So that's Aardvark, Cerebus. And another one that just came back. I'm plugging it now. I'm going to have you on one day soon. I swear. Is the artist / creator for Worm Jim.
You said in the
Earthworm Jim.
In the 90s. Yeah, okay. I do remember that. Yeah, I remember all that stuff. And Earthworm, he was cool. And I still dig him. I'm trying to remember of a couple of the other ones that were back then. But all that stuff, to me, it's nice to see some of it get love. I am one of the people that did buy what people now refer to as a modern day drink coaster. I have a bunch of the foil covers of what was that? It was a Valiant.
They consider it a coaster? Man,
yeah,
that's disrespectful.
Because it is. Turok, Dinosaur Hunter. I have a few of those. Who doesn't, right? But what I was getting at is it's nice to see a lot of that 90s now getting some love. Back then, all that shit was overproduced. It caused a big crash. Now that a lot of that stuff.
Battletoad era.
Oh my God, that's another one.
Yeah. Battle Roads. Well, I mean, he's naming both of them.
Yeah, well, I remember all that stuff. It was from 91 all the way up to like 96, 97. A lot of that shit came out. Wow. Yeah, because again, there was a lot of the launches of like even today, there was a lot of new publishing companies that were out then. Defiant, Valiant, Malibu. The Image is the obvious one. But back then, when they first succeeded from Malibu, they were still using Malibu as a publishing company until they can get themselves underneath their own feet.
He said Tyron was ill.
Tyron was ill. Who else was out? No, it wasn't Oni. There was Cult Press was back then. So there was a lot of independent publishers, and I was buying a lot of that stuff, which today is kind of cool because I have Jimmy Palmiotti stuff, I have Casada stuff, I have Valentino stuff. I have a lot of stuff when they were working with some of these companies prior in which that they were in the positions that they are now, which is it's kind of cool. I would love to meet some of these people and go, hey, do you remember this book? Hey, remember this book? So I got some old books and old stuff signed and custom art. I got art, that these guys did before they were at right now and charging $500, $600, $700, $800 for a little sketch, And they hung out with me back then, and we used to hang out back then, but it was a different era, totally different era.
Yeah,
I had fun, guys. You had fun. You guys done with your drinks? Police almost is.
I didn't even drink it, but I'm going to enjoy it at a friend's sleepover.
You are. Yeah, I know you have to get going over, and it is just that one person though, right? Don't even make it a party.
Only one more.
Oh, that ain't bad.
And the other Manolo's the only bad one.
You didn't say that. Right on it. And again, the Ninja Genko. The
Ninja Genko.
I don't necessarily. I do. Yeah, I have seen you a couple times.
I've seen him around a couple times in the chat.
We appreciate you being here. Look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. Tomorrow, Saturday, Artist Alley. And we're going to have an Artist Alley this Saturday, an Artist Alley Tuesday, an Artist Alley next Saturday, Artist Alley Saturday after that. We're going to try to fit it in with a couple more people in between there, but we're going to see what we can do. I think that's all of us for right now.
I think that is. I had fun drinking with you guys, even though I only have a sugary drink.
Basically done. So
Yeah.
So I think from us at 1-2,
Comic Talk.
Comic talk.
we're out.